It is time for Bollocks this evening, and we are in the
Bozard Ford studio.
That is right. It is Tuesday evening, and we got some fun stuff to talk about. I want Lenny to understand how Trump saved L.A. I know he has a tough time with that one, but I'm gonna explain.
Yeah, and then I'm going to then you're going to have to listen to me how Trump is crushing the military and screwing up the army.
Yeah, and they keep voting for him, don't they?
Not so much anymore. You know what? His numbers are so far underwater.
We'll see in 3 years.
Okay. Because you mean when he runs again?
You guys think, yeah, when he runs again. No one's questioned the 22nd Amendment, so we'll see.
That's what I just heard. The Supreme Court is going.
We'll see what happens.
It's never been tried, so let's see what happens.
No, he's going to go out on top. You guys are going to be so upset, and you're like, wow.
Hey, no. If he goes out, nobody will be upset.
No, you'll still be upset. Don't act like.
No. Go away. Take your big gold plane and put it in your library.
They did find the Philadelphia Karen, and they determined she was a Democrat. So just want to make sure. Want to make sure you.
And how did they determine that?
Because she took something that wasn't hers,
and that makes her a Democrat.
That she didn't earn.
That makes
her a Democrat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that like tariffs? Is that like taking all the minerals out of there?
Wait. Thank you for bringing up tariffs, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
We didn't earn what we're charging them because they're charging us the exact same, and most of the time, they're still charging us more. But we didn't earn that?
Okay, so hold on.
You brought up tariffs.
Fine, go ahead.
So I want you to defend the tariff argument, why we shouldn't be charging them
problem with it.
Equal to what they're charging us.
Fine.
But you brought it up.
Fine, flat rates, no problem.
Yeah, what they charge us, we charge them.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And how did the United States earn 10% of Intel? How did the United States earn everything else that we're getting?
Well,
because he's going in and going, give me part of your company. Give me part of your company. Talk about taken.
Are you talking about the company Intel or the intelligence that we have?
No, there's no intelligence in government right now. I'm talking about the company Intel that he's got a 10% stake in. He's going out with his hand out and he's just taking things.
You couldn't add three numbers a second ago.
Only two numbers. No, I couldn't add two numbers.
A second ago.
It was 9 and 3.
Government intelligence.
It was 9 and 3. That's right. See, maybe they should hire me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. This group right here, they'll sell to Democrats or Republicans because they are just wonderful people.
Yes, they are.
And we're talking about Bozard, Ford, Lincoln, and in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time, Bozard, Ford, Lincoln. What did you say?
I got me a Ford.
You got you a Ford.
I got me a Ford.
Yep. Is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
Hey, set sail for adventure at the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, home to the world's largest and most authentic collection of pirate artifacts. Explore over 800 relics across 40 immersive exhibits, including Thomas II's original pirate chest, Blackbeard's blunderbust, and gold from the Queen Anne's Revenge. You'll even see one of the 3 authentic Jolly Roger flags left in the world. Curated by Pat Croce and the Croce family, it's a journey through real pirate history right in downtown St. Augustine at 12 South Castillo Drive. Come experience the golden age of piracy.
All right. Hurricane season, we're right in the middle of it, and these guys are the guys that can guide you through any of those things. Since 2008, Brightway Insurance, a Casey agency, has been guiding St. Augustine through hurricanes, floods, fires, and more. Led by a longtime local, Ashley Casey, this is insurance done the brighter way. No confusing jargon, no one-size-fits-all policies, just clear guidance, multiple quotes, and customized coverage that protects what matters most. With deep roots in the community and decades of experience, Ashley and his team make insurance simple, affordable, and personal. Visit them on the island at 108 Seagrove Main Street or call 904-217-7547. Brighter way to do insurance.
So after you spent an afternoon at the Pirate and Treasure Museum, walk down the bayfront to the Saint. Experience the art of Italian dining at Saint, nestled in the heart of historic St. Augustine. From handmade pastas to rich risottos and indulgent tiramisu. Every dish blends authentic Italian flavor with modern elegance. Sip a craft cocktail, savor seasonal ingredients, and enjoy breathtaking views from their second-floor balcony or rooftop patio, where you can take in the bayfront and even spot the lighthouse on a clear day. At Saint, every meal is a celebration. Join us there and elevate your dining experience.
All right. We also have several other amazing sponsors. We have Solar Stick, Abear Kresge and Associates, Powell Heating and Air, Meehands, A.D. Davis Construction, Land Title of America, Kaiser's Deli and Market, St. Augustine Distillery, Citygate Spirits, A to Z Roofing, Anastasia Diner, Moultrie Creek Diner, Mr. Electric, and that is a great list right there. All right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say an adequate list. No, that is a great list right there. You can get a lot done with those people right there.
And eat well. 3 of my favorite eating establishments in town.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, it is Tuesday. Lenny, we are ready to go. And not just battle. We're going to have an open and discussion, and we're still going to love each other at the end of the day.
Always do.
All right, your topic. I'm going to let you go first. You have topics. I have 3 topics. I think you have 3 topics.
Well, I just got a weird question because of what's going on in the world today, and I'm very confused whether it's anti-Christian bias or anti-Semitism, because depending on the day of the week, they're just championing either of them, which is neither to champion, but it's very confusing because anti-Christian bias is relatively new, and anti-Semitism is historically perpetuated. So, but I just, because now they're talking about...
You want to just jump right into that one?
Or we can ignore it
No,
completely.
I think, that's what the rest of the world would do,
Lenny,
but that's not us.
Lenny, you're already fired up, so we can start with that.
Works for me because you know what? It brokers right into the separation of church and state, which is eroding like sand on a beach.
Should I invite John over here quickly so we can talk about that, the former Liberty grad?
All right, no, we don't need that. But I will argue the counterpoint of that. But with your first question, you have like 6 questions out there, Lenny. So I want you to kind of ask which question you want to ask first, and then we'll spiral into what else you got.
With the supplicant Supreme Court.
The what?
Supplicant.
What does that mean?
Easy, have a nice day, President Trump, whatever you'd like.
Don't you say easy.
Because,
Okay, well, there was no reason to use that, Dennis.
Stop going full Cornell, Lenny.
Dennis Miller here.
Yeah.
Supplicant. Okay, I'm just busting your balls.
That's
you know
fine.
that? Okay.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Because the Supreme Court is busting everybody else's balls, the 6 of them. Every now and again, look, like I said, they're doing everything under the cover of darkness. The Supreme Court used to be open and talking about transparent.
No, they didn't.
They used to.
Oh, bullshit.
Come on.
Absolute bullshit.
What, now these emergency decisions?
Let's go to FDR. Let's go to FDR.
He didn't stock the court. He tried.
He didn't stock the court. You know why he didn't stock the court? Because he wasn't legally allowed to stock the court.
Oh, wait a second. You mean there's legalities?
There's legalities.
You mean like Congress stops people from doing stuff?
Congress makes the laws. They don't stop them. They don't enforce them.
Apparently not.
Yeah, they don't. That's not their job.
Because they're just being run over left and right.
That's not their job. That's legislative, and the Supreme Court is the one who interprets the law.
Right.
But guess what? You didn't freaking win. Guess what happened to FDR? He didn't win at the right time.
Oh, he won 4 terms. What do you mean he didn't win?
Yeah, but you know what? Right. He didn't get to stock the court, did he? He wanted to take it to 11 because he couldn't get the votes.
Right.
So, so don't act like it's just now that it's happening. Like, oh my gosh, the world is right now. This is the first time we've had turmoil. No.
Oh, we've always had turmoil, but the point is
the losers always bitch and the winners always gloat. And guess who's gloating?
Yeah. The
biggest gloater, and we have in office the biggest gloater of all time.
Right, the golden idol.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Didn't we read something about that in the Bible, which is just a storybook?
Yeah, please don't put him in the Bible.
No, not at all. What? He's got his own Bible, which he's making up. He probably has his name in there 12 places.
No, that wasn't his Bible. It's even worse. It's Lee Greenwood's Bible.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think in a speech he called number 2 Corinthians instead of 2 Corinthians. So it's like,
because he reads it off and it's his favorite book.
Yeah, you got that nailed down.
It's his favorite book. Ask him. He'll tell you.
And that one to me is the most mind-boggling thing at all is the Christian right is following that man. And that's the part I can't get. I don't understand. I mean, I was raised a Christian.
All about the rapture.
I understand all that, but this guy is the guy your parents warn you about when you're in church.
Yeah.
You know, he does everything, you know, right on the edge of being legal, right on the edge of doing
he's crossed that line.
But, you know, well, the interpretation is the interpretation. Right. Depends who's in the court.
Yeah.
Certain courts have him guilty, certain courts have him innocent. And
most courts are stopping him, and then the Supreme Court says, nah, forget the lower courts, we're going to change that again. Mm-hmm. And you know what? And they're just on their knees for him. It's ridiculous.
Literally.
Yeah. No. But the thing is, there they are right there. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand. And I have all the respect in the world for the office of the presidency. All right. But I do not understand how the Christian right.
The evangelical. It's right. Okay. So we'll call that the Christian right.
The Christian right.
Okay, fine.
The far Christian.
The far right.
Far right. How about that?
Yeah.
This is the guy they picked. Yeah. All right. I understand following the party, but this is the guy there overwhelmingly, you know, bringing him up for sainthood.
Oh God!
And it doesn't make sense to me.
Give me the 15-year-old kid.
You know, the families I was raised with, and knowing this guy, because he's the guy. If I'm sitting in the bar, I do trivia, so I watch a lot of people. This is the guy that I want to punch in the throat.
Well,
it doesn't mean he's not a smart guy, and it doesn't mean he doesn't have good ideas.
And that he's manipulated the daylights out of the evangelicals who are waiting for just one thing. They want to fly up to heaven.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's
it. It's all about the rapture.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So what are we talking about? Anti-Christian bias?
It's just I'm very confused because, you know, for months and months and months, it was anti-Semitism, and we have to take $500 billion away from Harvard because they're anti-Semitic. And, you know, because people are, you know, because there's some people that think Palestine may deserve a country or not to starve to death. Mm-hmm. And that's anti-Semitism, apparently.
That's anti-Semitism?
Well, that's what it brought out on college campuses, because if you're supporting Palestine, then you're anti-Semitic. That was the whole thing on the college campuses. It was the protest.
No, you just...
No. It was the protest on the college campuses in support of Palestine against Israel, because Israel as a nation, not as a Jewish religion, but Israel as a country was going into another country, fighting a war, and now starving a population, and they're trying to continue.
Into another country? Wasn't it their country?
No. The West Bank was never, no. Gaza Strip?
Okay, well, that's but that just, I mean, that shifted.
Those sands have shifted over the course of time.
That's what I'm saying, that's shifted.
It's like whatever that soap opera is.
But here's the problem. The media gets behind one side, all right? The media gets behind one side, and then they don't get to see the other side. This is the problem with our entire country. They're not seeing both sides of this solution. There has to be a right and a wrong. And that's the way the media perceives this. There's not compromise out there. No. There's polarizing. And that's what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. And that's what's happening with Israel and the Palestinians. Mm-hmm. And they're not looking at both sides. I think the Police had a song, that the musical group, the Police.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So I didn't make sure we're clear on that. Had a song during the Cold War that made it to like the top 40. Do the Russians love their children too?
Okay.
All right. And if we start negotiations with those countries with that mindset, instead of I'm on this side or I'm on that side. And the problem with our country is people aren't finding out what that side's about and what this side's about. It's, I got a D beside my name. The D says I need to follow the Palestinians. I got an R beside my name. The R says I need to follow the Israelis. And that's how our country is. Democrats say, oh, well, I got to follow the Ukrainian. The Republicans are like, well, you know, we got to figure, you know. So, I mean, and that's where we don't think on our own.
Right.
anymore, and,
but
the middle is left
it's
behind.
just brutal to
here's
say.
the issue, though. I'm going to start the argument right there because like the biggest like
I don't think you're going to stop the argument, but you can interrupt the argument.
I'm going to interrupt this real quick, and definitely will say the biggest Israeli Political Action Committee AIPAC, like their biggest donors have there have been like multiple $1 million donations to Democrat and Republican congressmen, Republican, Democrat senators. Plus are like people like on the right that do support Palestinians as well. Like I know Marjorie Taylor Greene's
I'm talking about the media in general, Blake. You tried to handpick a couple little things, but the media in general, and
then why are you generalizing?
Because that's what our country is doing.
Right.
Instead of acting as individuals, they're doing it as whichever side they're on.
Okay.
Instead of saying, you know what, I agree with you. Trump's an asshole. Okay.
Well, we know that.
But there's no one on the far right that's agreeing with me on that.
Right.
All right. But do I think he was better than my other choice? Probably so. But I didn't vote for either one of them because he's an asshole.
Right. But your thesis that the Republicans support Israel. Now, if you sit down and talk to a registered Republican, and ask them, should the children in Gaza be starved to death?
No,
what are they going to say? They're not going to say no.
No, they don't. They don't think they should be starved to death. And that's what I'm going back.
That's the
problem. That's why I'm going back to that song.
Right.
We should start with that basis. Do the Russians love their children too? Do the Palestinians love their children too? Do the Israelis love their children too? Do the Ukrainians? And start with that and figure it out from there. Instead of starting from a side of I'm on this side or that side, be on the side of peace and be on the side of compromise, because I can tell you right now, there's certain sides, and I'm going to point fingers. Hamas, all right, isn't willing to do any compromise. They want us all dead.
Right.
That changes the scenario for me, because they want my children dead. And they say it out loud. Do I want their children dead? No.
Okay.
So that changes the argument, though.
So now, do you think that the mothers in Palestine want their children dead?
No, they absolutely do not.
Okay. So
But
then why are they supporting Hamas?
Wait, stop.
Oh, what, you're going to say they want our children dead?
Let me stop, all right?
Go ahead.
Do they want our children dead? Yes, they do.
See, now that's a blanket statement.
But that is...
Because all the Palestinians are not Hamas.
You know what? Then kick them out of their country.
Right.
Then get them out of their country.
Right.
That's on them.
Yes.
Because who's running their country?
Nobody right now.
Hamas.
Yeah.
Tell me nobody.
There's
Hamas
nothing to
is
run.
Yeah, Hamas is.
And thank you for acknowledging that they're a country.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving them a community. I'm not giving them
community.
But until Hamas is out,
Right.
I'm not giving them a country.
Well,
that
makes the most sense.
Vote them out. That is somebody who wants my children dead.
Okay.
And I have a problem with that. Do I want their children dead? Absolutely not.
Okay. Now, what about the Palestinian Authority? They're not running around saying death to everybody.
No, they're not. But they're not. So they also don't have enough teeth to get the other assholes out.
Right. They're just trying to stay in the West Bank
they're trying to stay alive.
Absolutely.
So, and I do have sympathy for them, but they're also allowing Hamas to use them and their children as shields for what they believe is right for their religion. And that's not cool. That one doesn't fly with me.
Well, the whole thing based on religion is the problem with most of the parts of the world right now. So, whether you have anti-Christian bias, anti-Semitic, anti-Palestinian, anti-Jewish, and you got to segregate out the fact that Israel is not a religion. Israel is a freaking country. And the turmoil in Israel is going nuts too. Yeah. Because right now, Netanyahu is working on his own survival and also trying to stay out of jail like Trump. Because how many times has he been convicted?
I don't even
corruption?
know. I don't even know.
I don't know if he's been convicted, but he's been brought up on corruption charges.
He's been brought up.
For many, 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 many years.
I don't think anybody's brave enough to actually convict him.
I think they keep trying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, but no, the conviction's not happening.
Right.
There's people that are brave enough to accuse him.
Right.
But not brave enough to actually put him in jail.
But he's scattered over there, and then he's just, again, he's doing stuff by fiat because the government's in turmoil back over there as well.
But the problem is not within the religion. The problem is within the extremists within the religion. And that has been an issue for hundreds of centuries. Mm-hmm. It's the extremists in certain religion. Religion overall, most religions have solid foundations. All of them have some form of live by the golden rule.
Right.
There's really, I don't know if there is a religion out there that doesn't have some form of doing to others.
Correct.
All right. The problem is the extremists within certain religions. And when these extremists say, I don't know of any, no, I can't even say that. I do. I was going to say, I don't know of any Christian groups that would want a particular set of groups, but there are certain sects of Christianity that believe.
Well, remember the Crusades.
Well, remember 43. So I mean, that would want a particular group dead. So all religions have some of those sects involved in it that create
and ignore
chaos.
And ignore, one of the 10 commandments of thou shalt not kill. Mm. So, if it's convenient for them, they completely ignore it.
But I don't think that's in the Quran.
Well, I was going to ask, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't think that's in the Quran.
Yeah, because they're big on often the infidels.
Yeah, the infidels are not considered equal to them, so you can go. So I mean, like I said, anti-Semitism, anti-Christian, anti-Muslim, anti-Hindu, anti-Buddhism, Sikh, all of those. None of that is positive in any way. I think if we use the word anti in front of it, it's always going to start off with a bad conversation, or create chaos. And I think a lot of this hatred is there to create chaos so that they feel that it makes them stronger. So a lot of people, and this is what a bully is, and these I look at, to break it down to like the simplest form I can, a bully will pick on this person out of fear of his own fears. Okay. Instead of like when he should be supporting this person, he picks on this person.
Finding the common ground.
And that is, to me, a definition of a bully. This person, the bully, is more scared than the person getting bullied in a lot of ways. And if you can find that, what frightens the bully, then the other person has the power, and the power shifts. Mm-hmm. And when you get the power, it has to be a gentle.
Right. You've got to remember what it was like to be on the other side.
It has to be a gentle transition.
Right.
Where the U.S. is having a problem is that gentle transition. We have all the power. We have the capabilities of being a bully, but we also have the capabilities. We also have the capabilities of being the humble protector, and that's where we screw up. We're not always the humble protector. We're the see what I did for you.
Right.
It's like
and now you owe me.
And it's like borrowing money from a friend. Right. If that friend says, hey, I did this for you, you need to do that. That's not a friend.
Right.
So, and that's where I think the U.S. is failing in world diplomacy.
Well,
in many ways, in many other ways, but I mean, that's as simple as I can break it down. Is be that humble protector, and
right.
There's lots of high school movies that could teach our politicians a lot of things. So
yeah, I mean, the U.S. is moving away from taking care of the people in the world that need it the most, turning their back on, some of the smaller countries, some of the poorer countries, some of the countries with the bigger health issues now, and we're just ignoring them. And we're doing it the same way in developed countries, where we're stepping away from any type of supporting their communications or their freedoms, and letting other countries that have a nefarious mindset, like Russia and or China, weighing in on their elections and their propaganda, because we've walked away from it all. Radio Free Europe and all the other things, the Voice of America, things that were bulwarks going across Democrat and Republican governments for years in the United States, that were just a stopgap to to contrast against the issues coming out of the communist states at the time, and now out of the the powerhouses of the Soviet Union, which is now Russia.
Yeah, which is still communist.
Right.
All right, Bobby, in the comment, supplicate a person who asks for something in a humble or earnest way, either praying to God or petitioning a powerful person or entity. And he says, what is the Supreme Court asking for?
And I said anonymity.
Anonymity.
Leave us alone.
Anonymity. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's more like Trump is the supplicant going to the Supreme Court and saying, "Take care of me," and they do.
Yeah.
You know, without qualms, and in the middle of the night, without an explanation. That's the problem, because everything that they're doing on the emergency.
No, they give an explanation.
No, not on the emergency. No. Stop right there.
Yeah.
The emergency docket, when they're ruling, only Kavanaugh came out the other day and wrote a 10-page concurrence. Otherwise, they're unsigned.
Don't they assign one person to write the explanation?
Not on the emergency docket. Emergency docket, they do, and they're doing that to hold over.
Okay.
Another case is pending.
Let me ask a question.
Okay.
Because you seem to know this better than I. I thought all the decisions, once the decision's made, they have one person either who voted for it or against it write the explanation for the decision. I thought that's what Kavanaugh did in that case.
Nope, because it was on the emergency docket.
Okay.
So that's the process.
So why did he write that 10 thing?
Because he had an opinion that he needed out there, that he wanted out there, but it wasn't assigned to him. He chose to do it himself, because the emergency docket are unsigned, if I'm not mistaken. And I may be, but I'm pretty sure they're unsigned, and they're there to answer a question in the immediacy while the case is still pending.
And I don't know enough to argue the other side of that, but I thought that all the decisions they made, they assigned it, and it didn't have to be somebody who voted for it. Sometimes it was somebody who voted against it, and then that person would write why it was voted in that way. It's usually the person, usually it's somebody who's on the winning side.
The decisions are assigned by the senior judge of the majority opinion.
Okay.
So let's say Roberts is siding with the three liberals. He doesn't assign it. That would be Clarence Thomas would appoint who gets to write the decision.
He's
on the other side, whoever is the most senior. So for argument's sake, if Roberts was in the dissent, he would assign the dissent to one of the other three or himself to write the dissent. So it's the senior judge in the side gets to choose who writes the dissent.
So it's not,
but the difference
it's not they vote on it together. It's whoever the senior
assigns
it. Okay.
The decision. Right. But with the emergency docket, which has been spinning like a freaking top, people are running up to the Supreme Court and saying, we need an answer from you right now. The Supreme Court doesn't start until the first Tuesday in October. So they're not in session now. So they're doing all of this without full briefings, without full hearings, without oral admissions, and without the full bench. They're getting bits and pieces of it. They're not sitting down together because they're not even in Washington together necessarily. Comey Barrett's on a book tour. Somebody else is Sotomayor is on a book tour. So they're out making their money in the summer when they're off of the court. But the emergency docket is holding things in abeyance or supporting something or knocking against something until it can be heard in the full court the next session, which starts the first Tuesday in October.
Okay.
So that's the problem is. But I should look up. Blake, could you look up how many emergency petitions to the Supreme Court there's been since Trump's been in office since January?
Yeah, and I want to see what comparison. Compare it to the same.
To Biden.
Well, not to Biden. Biden didn't do shit. Let's compare it to Obama.
Okay.
Yeah, because Biden was eating ice cream. I'm sorry. Biden,
but it doesn't matter that his Justice Department would still be there.
No, but the thing is he wasn't pushing anything. He wasn't trying to fix anything. He was holding on to his job. Obama did the job.
Yeah.
Biden didn't do the job. So I think in all the stuff I don't like about Trump, Trump's trying to do a job. And I don't think Biden did that. I think Obama did do that. I didn't like W, but I think W in the first 4 years tried to do something. In the last 4 years, I think he was just wanting to be in Texas and paint.
Mailing it in and paint.
And painting. And so, I mean, that's, Biden, Biden, I think, at one point was a very solid representative of his district, but I think by the time he was president, his time had already passed.
All right.
So,
All right, so during like this term right now, the 25-26 period, there have been 19 applications during the emergency docket right now, and there's currently right now 3 still left to be decided.
I'm sorry, one more time. 19 since he took office?
Yes, 19. So it's 19 during this period right now in the emergency docket of 2025, and it's currently right now 3 still pending.
all right. And I'm going to say Biden's numbers is probably about 25% of that. So
Well, don't forget, this has been
not Biden's numbers, Obama's numbers.
Right. Don't forget,
Because
this
Biden's,
is
I don't think he's got
19 in 8 months.
Yeah.
So, that's it. And these are decisions that are being held now.
Hold on.
you got?
Hold on, I got different numbers here. Let me try to find.
Oh, you got a different number on Trump?
Yeah, I have a different number on Trump. But hold on, I need to count a little bit. So give me 1 sec.
Oh, I'll help.
No, keep going with what you were saying.
I'll help counting.
We heard a hold on, and then he wasn't ready. So you let us know when that hold on comes back into play. No, I agree.
Right, but these are also then, now they're going to be, everything that's gotten an emergency opinion, all unsigned, will now come back to the full court at some point during this term in theory, where then it will be handled like a regular case, where they will then make a decision, take a vote, and then they will write a dissent or a concurrence. So
Yeah, I don't think that's changed throughout. I think
no, that's how it works. But the emergency things are.
I think he's using it to scare the shit out of the Democrats. And I think
I think he's doing it to overturn
I think
all the
there's-
judges.
Yeah, I think he's doing some of these things
All right,
that he knows aren't going to pass.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of these things, and when you hear the
that way he can
legal
go-
experts say,
And that way he can go, well, I tried it.
well, but here's the deal: when you listen to legal experts, they say when this comes before the full court, it should not pass. But in the interim, they're letting him do what he needs to do, so they're buying him as much time as possible. And that's bullshit for the Supreme Court.
Well,
the Supreme Court is an embarrassment to the country right now. I'm sorry, I'll say it out loud. I was a big fan of this. Oh, absolutely, I was a big fan of the Supreme Court forever. There is no independent thought.
They can only do what's legally in front of them, and our laws are written in a way that there is people that can take advantage of it. And I don't know anybody who spent more time in the courts than Donald Trump.
Yeah, but
And
that's
he's
defending his
taking
economics.
That's not just defending his economics. He spent quite a bit of time in the courts the last 4 years defending his own
his
actions.
name because he's being personally sued, and that's what I'm talking about. His economics. It's his bottom line that's being sued. He's not in the courts defending democracy or his positions. He's in the court defending his ass.
I think his ethics are is what he's defending more than his.
He has ethics.
Yeah, well, that's what he's trying to defend.
Right. Okay.
So, and you understand the words that come out of your mouth, and you still say you're a moderate.
See, this is where I have a problem with you.
Yeah.
Because I am a moderate. I dislike Donald Trump. I think he is very bad for the country. Because of that, that does not make me immoderate. Talk about policies. Talk about my policies.
Here you go. When have you voted for a Republican as a president in your entire life?
And what does that have to do with being moderate?
Well, I go back and forth.
Okay, fine.
I go back and forth because I don't go by the party.
Right.
Now this go round right here.
I voted for Gerald Ford.
I had no vote.
Right. So I voted for Gerald Ford. You happy?
There you go. No, that makes me super happy.
Okay, fine.
So in 1980,
no, I think it was like 76.
or 76. Oh, against Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Oh, you couldn't have voted for Ford against Reagan. That was the other.
My first election was.
That was the other side.
I was 18 in 76.
Yeah. So I mean, I can tell you this.
Yeah.
When I turned 18, my first election, I voted for Dukakis. So that tells you how far I was on that side, because me and 8 other people, you happen to be one of the 8.
You didn't like him driving the tank?
He looked like Dudley Moore in that horrible movie. Whatever it was, Ishtar. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, that's a horrible movie.
But I voted for Dukakis.
Okay.
I voted for Clinton the second time, not the first time. I did vote for Senior, the first go round. And then I had a streak of losing like 5 in a row.
Okay.
So whenever one went in, I was like, I voted for the wrong guy.
Okay.
So I voted for Gore. I can tell you this: the biggest election rob, I think, in our lifetime, still is in 2000.
Oh yeah.
And what happened in Florida?
And who was that?
Huh?
The Supreme Court.
Yeah, but the Supreme Court was not left with anything. They had to go by the evidence. The evidence.
Well, they also rushed it.
The evidence proved that those people actually did vote for the wrong candidate. But when I looked at that ballot, I understand why they voted for the wrong. I mean, we had, you can't tell me in that community, a heavily populated Jewish community didn't vote for Lieberman. It just didn't happen.
Right.
You know, that supervisor of election screwed his own county, who was, unfortunately, at that time, he was a Democrat who selected that. And
that weird ballot,
and that screwed that election. So,
but I take great offense when you say I'm not a moderate, because my policies are very moderate. I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm a social liberal, and I dislike Donald Trump. That does not make me a moderate.
You come in every day bitching about the same thing.
Yeah, the president of the United States.
The same thing,
right? But that does not make me a moderate. It just makes me dislike Donald Trump.
Then make your side stronger.
I keep trying, but they're helpless. What can I tell? How long have I said the Democrats can't message?
Yeah.
I've been saying this for 2 years here. The Democrats can't message.
All right. I have a topic. Trump saves L.A. Do we want to go to that topic? Because or do we
want to go? Trump screws Tom Hanks.
Well, Trump saves L.A. is quick.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Trump has now pulled out the National Guard. Now that it's safe again. You know how much crime happened while the National Guard was there? It almost went to zero.
Okay.
Now he's pulling it out. And as soon as something goes wrong again, LA is going to be in crisis.
Now,
LA is one of those cities that's always in crisis.
Okay. Now, crime went to zero where? In the 10 square blocks downtown where they were, or in the entire city of Los Angeles?
The 10 square blocks, yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking a microcosm. Mm-hmm. You know, crime is down in Washington. Dramatically.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The sheriff got fired or got put on suspension because he lied about the statistics.
I'm talking about now, since the National Guard's been in Washington.
Since the National Guard's there, yeah.
Right. No, I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about like
No, because we know that statistic lies.
And he lied on the statistics, and he didn't ask for help. He in D.C. he lost like 400 or 500 officials. Or officers.
Okay.
You know, and he didn't ask for help.
He lost them because he didn't have the funding.
Yeah.
Which was stopped by Congress to keep Washington going.
Well, I think the city council is the ones who funded.
I think
DC.
No, they don't. It's Congress funds DC.
Okay. All right.
It's controlled.
So they don't have a city council?
They do.
They don't have their own. They don't have their own entity of law enforcement.
But home rule is controlled by Congress. Congress oversees the District of Columbia.
So who does the taxes paid in D.C., ad valorem taxes in D.C., it doesn't go to the city?
It goes to the city.
Okay. And who pays? Hey, Blake.
The city also pays the police department.
If you can Google where the funding of the city of D.C. comes from, I'd appreciate it. Because if it's coming from Congress, then that's a different argument. But I thought they had their own government agency that reduced it within themselves. So
it's possible,
so
but I know they're short, and they were saying that we were gypped out of X amount of money. Mm-hmm. Whether they did it to themselves, then that's foolish. Mm-hmm. Or if they did it or if Congress did it,
well, the
then
county,
that's still foolish.
St. John's County and the city of St. Augustine fund their own law enforcement.
Yes,
and so does St. John's County. They don't ask for federal funds to supplement.
All right.
Well, I'm sure they get CDBG block grants.
All right, and the answer.
Well, that block grants is only isolated for those that that vote themselves in, and we don't have hardly any of those except on the Beach Tree Nourishment situation.
That's the only way we're getting block grants? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the only one we actually have. We can qualify, but we don't ask for those because the people don't want more taxes if they're not necessary.
Well, the block grants don't. The block grants are given by the federal government.
But that is isolated. That actually.
Yeah, there's limits on what you can use it for.
Exactly.
It's very tailored.
All right, what'd you find out?
All right. So the last year that officially reported was fiscal year 2022. So it looks like around $7.5 billion was given by the federal government to DC, and that was like around 37% of Washington D.C.'s revenue came from federal transfers.
7.5
billion.
7.5 billion. So it was almost 100% paid for by the federal government. So where does the ad valorem taxes go? I'm going to have to research this more.
Yeah, who do you pay your property taxes to?
Who do you pay your property taxes to if you live in D.C.? If it goes to the federal government, then I am blaming the federal government for that.
Hold on. So that research was basically like how much of DC's budget came from the federal government,
right?
So that came from like direct like funding from the government, like here government, I'm gonna give DC money. So
right.
Yeah, so I want to know property taxes, which I'm sure they pay property taxes in the city of DC.
Unless you're an embassy.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of those, and a lot of churches, and a lot of schools,
right?
A lot of museums.
Yeah.
Where does, if I'm a resident of DC, I own a $4 million house.
All right. The property taxes go to the District of Columbia.
Okay,
it doesn't go to the federal government.
Okay.
Can you see if there was a change between last year's disbursement from the federal government to this year's, or 2 years ago to last year? Because I think there was a big cut, which is why they lost those officers, because they couldn't hire more.
Because they couldn't support themselves?
Well, because the federal government cut back on some of their largesse.
Like I was saying, the federal government doesn't support our sheriff department. It doesn't support our police department.
But Washington, D.C. is an anomaly.
Clarification. What do you want me to research? So what's the question you want me to find again specifically?
Okay. Has the D.C. budget through Congress been changed and shrunk in the last 2 years?
And it's specifically towards law enforcement, because DC budget, like going towards museums and stuff like that, and monuments and things like that, is different. I would like to see what the numbers, actual support, come from the federal government for law enforcement. If ad valorem dollars, which ad valorem dollars is what pays for our sheriff department, ad valorem dollars is what pays for our police department. I'd be shocked if that's not the first use of that money coming for the sheriff department or law enforcement of the city of DC.
Here for law enforcement, the police budget is changed by both the district and the federal government, but the district government through the mayor and the city council has the primary role in formulating and passing the budget, which then requires the final approval from U.S. Congress.
Okay.
So the city council creates it, the mayor approves it, then it gets sent to the Congress.
Okay. Which for years would rubber stamp it. But my question is, did it shrink in the last couple of years?
Did it get attacked by Congress? So, which that's a legitimate question. So Blake, you're doing a great job, man. I know we're throwing a lot of shit at you right now, so we really appreciate you doing that research.
That's why he's the producer.
Here we go. I have work rules.
Okay.
All right. Blake is doing his research.
Working. Go ahead.
All right. I have 10. I believe it's 10. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. Thought I had 10. 9 work rules. All right. Of these work rules, and you worked in a restaurant.
Sure.
Rules are a little different in a restaurant.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right. Rules are a little different in your restaurant. You got a lot of angry people. You got a lot of happy people, and you got a lot of smelly people, because you guys are sweating your ass off.
Oh, believe me, I went home smelling like a fryer more times than I'd care to count.
Yes. What you got, Blake?
Yes. It's hard to tell, like because the most recent budget numbers only came from fiscal year 2023, so nothing from like 24 or 25.
But even 23, because 24 we're in 25 now.
We're in 25.
Okay.
So we can't blame Trump. You can't blame Trump's Congress for it.
No.
You'd have to blame Biden's Congress for it.
Which is
okay.
All right. Yeah. So
then I'd be surprised if they shortchanged him, but I believe. See why there's a 400 officer shortage in D.C.
Yeah. What's the cause of that? All right.
Please.
Work rules. Here are the 9 work rules. All right. I'm going to read them. You tell me which one you had the most trouble with when you were in the gathering of people. Okay. We still have some work rules here, and I think all of us abide by these
Who,
nine.
who promulgated these rules?
It was called the Internet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, I don't know the exact source,
All
but
right,
these, I think these all make sense
Okay.
as good work
Bring 'em on.
rules. Respect others' time. To me, this is a huge one.
Okay.
And I have a problem when I get called over. Someone asks me a question I do a lot of strategy and stuff like that. And I create strategies. I get called over to someplace I'm not normally at. They ask me the strategy and then they don't do it and then they fail and they get mad at me. That is a total
Right.
lack of respect for my time.
Right.
And that's probably the one thing that I get frustrated the most about is respecting others' time. If you don't need my opinion, then don't ask for my opinion.
Okay.
So, but I hear we do that very well. All right. Practice common courtesy. I think we do that except when you and I are yelling at each other. I'm mean to you. I'm mean to you. You're nice to me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm mean to you. You're nice to me. I'm mean to Blake. He's nice to me. So I'm the problem. Okay.
Yes, but we're not taking that too terribly seriously, so worry not.
No.
Okay.
All right, and then Lane, to answer your police question, there's like no official like statement about like what's been the cause of it.
What's the cause?
What's been the cause of it? So possibly just like general burnout.
All right, I'll see if I can figure out something tonight.
Who
All
knows?
right. Clean up after yourself.
Always.
We have a good crew for that. Okay. Listen actively and avoid interrupting. This is a talk show. We have a problem with that.
I'm an interrupter.
Yeah.
I always am.
No. We both are.
Right. And part of it is because I can't remember. If I don't get it out now, we'll finish the conversation. I'll say, well, there was something I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, I admit it. I'm bad. I'm an interrupter, but it's only because if I don't get my point out now, I will not have it in 3 minutes.
Yep. You're not meaning to be disrespectful.
No.
But we actually both of us have a problem with that. I'm pretty sure Rebecca's in that same mindset with you. Okay, I know what my answer is. I'm going to tell you. I got to tell you now before I forget it.
Right.
And that's where that one's at.
And I drive my wife crazy with it. Sorry, dear. I love you.
All right. Be mindful of noise and personal space. I see this more as it being in an office building and stuff like that. I don't think that applies to our workplace here.
Not here, but I will say that, I see a distinct difference between people who work in a restaurant, in particular in a kitchen, personal space and being able to move around, as opposed to people who work in an office and don't have the frenetic nature or the need to move swiftly and realize where other people are and other things are. So there's I see a dramatic difference in ability to move in tight spaces depending on what job you may or may have held.
All right. Avoid spreading gossip. Now, we are kind of I wouldn't say we are a news network, but we also have opinions.
Yes.
So
Very.
I don't know if opinions are considered gossip. I don't think they are.
No.
But
Well, I definitely don't think like we're not like TMZ. We're not like the Teen Vogue.
No, we're not that
levels
rich.
of seancing yet.
yeah. So, and you know what TMZ stands for, right?
No.
The 30-mile zone.
30-mile zone. It started in L.A.
Okay.
and it was within 30 miles of LA.
Oh, okay.
So it's 30-mile zone is and then obviously they're not.
Where there's no crime now
they're-
anymore.
well,
Well, there
well, it's back.
There
It's
is
back.
there is
Right there.
crime.
It's back because they left.
Right. They're on there. They're moving to Chicago.
It's back because they left.
They're moving to Chicago.
That Chicago's going to get
Moving
napalmed.
on up
Yeah, Chicago.
to the big time.
I don't think Chicago's going to happen. I think he's backed away from that. All right. Respond to messages.
Oh yeah.
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 I think we all do pretty good with that.
Don't ignore texts or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I think we all do pretty good with that. Blake doesn't think I do as well as I think I do. So, but I don't think I'm.
Sometimes there's a
I think
lag,
I'm-
but I know you're a busy man.
I think I'm better with messages than I am blinkers. I think if
Yes.
if you say, how are you at responding to messages, I'm going to give myself about a 6.5. All right.
Okay.
Blake, what would you give yourself on responding to messages?
I'm gonna say like a 5.6.
You don't think you're that good?
No, I'm awful. But it depends on the person I'm talking with because I always like second guess myself on what I should text like at the moment.
All right. What about you? What do you have yourself?
Oh, I'm an 8.
You're an 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a communicator.
All right. And,
Sometimes not as well as I'd like to think, but I'm a communicator. I'll respond.
And Bobby said, doesn't respect others' time mean arrive on time, and conversely, see me on time? I agree with that, but I think it's much more than that. Respecting other people's time is, you know, don't call me to a meeting if you don't have an agenda written out or an idea of what the meeting's about. Don't make me sit there when I can do 12 other things, and I see that as a disrespect to my time.
Don't burn my time unnecessarily.
Yeah, yeah.
And I apologize. I am perpetually late. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
7 minutes.
I don't think you've ever been late here.
Not here. Here I'm early.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever been.
I like
late
being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just those damn meetings.
It's right. I like being here. I'm in the abuse zone.
And I'll tell you, like, when I have one meeting over schedule another meeting, it stresses me out like you can't believe. Like I do sometimes double book on accident, and it happens. Just that comes with having 12 jobs.
Right. And you also,
but it's not purposeful, and I try and avoid that.
No, and it's not great for you. It's not great for you because, you know, when you have meetings back to back, you need a couple of minutes to decompress from the first meeting, take it in, and then prepare yourself for the next meeting. And if you're going bang, 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 you're not going to be as efficient in your second meeting, I would think.
But also definitely helps to decompress out of the topics on this. Although unfortunately, I might have to bring it up because this just popped up on my phone. Another emergency order from Chief Roberts.
Just keep them coming. Do your jobs one day, boys. Do your jobs and ladies.
What is this one about?
So Chief Roberts lets Trump block $4 billion in foreign aid for now. So
in foreign aid.
And the operant word there is for now. Because they haven't heard the damn case. They're letting him do what he's doing instead of stopping him. And lower courts have said you can't do this. So the Supreme Court says, yeah, you can do it until we hear the case. He may lose the case, but until then, he gets to do it. And that's bullshit because they don't have, talk about respect? The Supreme Court has no respect for any lower courts. Appeals courts, district courts, any of those judges that are doing their jobs are getting stepped on by the Supreme Court without a decision, without a hearing, without running through anything. They're just saying, no, we'll let it go for now, and then we'll deal with it down the... They're kicking that can so far down the line, it's not even funny.
So are they not coming in October?
They are, but you know how many? But how many emergencies did you say they had in 8 months?
19.
Now
20.
Hold on. So I updated my count. So it was actually more like 70.
Thank you.
But how most of them were about executions, and most of them were denied as well.
Oh, that's something different.
Yes.
That's different. That's a different type of emergency appeal.
Technically, it is part of the emergency docket. So
it's in the same way.
Counting.
But there's a distinction between somebody petitioning for a stay of execution from the Supreme Court after the governor or the state has turned it down, and somebody who is saying, well, the judges said that put a hold on this, and the Supreme Court's going, no, we're going to let it go until we hear the case.
Here's my question. Wait, it's all in the details. It's all in the details. So, Blake, who was getting that $4 billion that got blocked?
Let me go and double check it for you right now.
That's too random. It's all in the details.
Well,
who is getting that? Because if it's going to a country that hates us, F them.
Well, fine.
F them. So, I mean, it's all in the details, and it's always in the details. Each case is different. The fact that Trump is utilizing this to his own advantage, you know, that's part of the craftiness and the crappiness. All in the same.
And the weakness of the system.
All in the same. That's 100% the weakness of the system. So this has to be looked at.
I mean, the judiciary is in disarray.
We cannot. I don't think so. You and I don't agree on that.
3 lower courts that said, no, this is illegal, and we're putting a hold on it. And then the Supreme Court says, yeah, well, you know what? Until we hear the case ourselves, you keep doing what you're doing.
Here's the thing. You can say what you want, and you say it against the Supreme Court justices because they're on Trump's side. What side were those lower courts on when they made that decision? Was it because of the hatred of Trump? And it's all in the details. You're saying
you've got Republican judges that are saying no to him as well.
You're saying no, but I mean, it's all in the details of those. I'm giving the Supreme Court, these guys have earned, all 9 of them, all nine of them I have great respect for. They have earned those positions by working their way through that system. Now, a lot of it came down to timing, Kavanaugh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, get a lot of it.
And thumb on the scale, Mitch McConnell. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
But,
I mean, that's just bullshit.
But no, that's happened several times with what happened with Mitch McConnell. That is not. That is not. The Democrats and Republicans have both done that over 200 years. You don't
said no to somebody because it's too close to an election 8 months out, and then oh no, we got 3 months. We got to get her in right now.
100%.
That's just political bullshit.
No, it is, but it's happened for 200 years, and it's happened. Both sides have done it. When it first happened, I was like, that is bullshit. And then I went back and looked at the research on it, and both sides have done it multiple times, holding positions because it was like 8 months left or less than a year left.
Okay.
That's kind of a rule that they put in,
right?
Which I don't like. That position.
And then he ignored it for Comey Barrett.
The position should be filled, in my opinion.
Yes,
and it should not be held. And I don't want them to do it. I think they got it right with Comey Barrett, but they should have got it right
with Comey Barrett.
Well, they should have they got it right because that was a vacancy. It should be filled under that presidency, and they should not have held the other one, Kavanaugh.
Thank you.
The Kavanaugh one, it should have been filled
right
under the Democrats.
But he's saying one thing on one hand, and then he's saying the opposite thing on the other hand.
But we still would have a 5-4. These judges, I wish these judges weren't these or ours. But they clearly are.
Well, in the Supreme Court, in theory, they're not. They're liberals and conservatives.
Yeah, but they clearly are.
Right.
But they clearly are. All right, Blake, you had something to say.
Yeah.
And we kept stepping on you.
Yeah. So this man
making them work.
Yes, thank you. So yes. So this man was planned to go to the State Department and USAID, but however, though, President Trump sent a letter to Mike Johnson about saying that he was going to use a pocket recession to essentially make sure that funding that was approved by Congress in an upcoming spending budget was not going to be used for what Congress approved for.
Okay, so he's holding it, and that's Mike Johnson. He's holding it from.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
his own Congress. Congress.
That's from his side. He's holding that for.
Right.
So, like I said, it's all in the details of where that's at, and I'd really like to kind of follow that and find out where that money actually was going and why it got held up.
Going a lot of places, and some of them was probably not good, and some of it was.
And I think that's where the breakdown is like, wait a second, are we sending this to Argentina? Or are we sending this to Great Britain?
But actually,
probably not Great Britain,
but
there's a lot of Africa.
But actually though, so it's only just $4 billion out of the $6.5 billion allocated to the State Department and the USAID.
So it's $4 billion that's been handpicked out of the $6.5 billion.
So the other $2 billion can go and be distributed again.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
so I mean
nice.
that's what I'm saying. It's in those details of what that reasoning was, and the fact that it was, come from Mike Johnson's side. It shows he's not just he's picking probably on a couple of countries that are listed in there for certain funding, and I bet there's a reason why. All right. Last two things. Offer help when possible in the workplace. I think all of us have that one down pretty well. This one's one we all fail at. Okay? Leave personal life at home. We talk about our personal life on air. We are living out there. So I think we did pretty well. On the last one, I think we failed.
Well, years ago, I said if I ever write my autobiography, the title of it is "My Life is an Open Book." Mm-hmm. So I get too confused to try to keep secrets. Yeah. So
your life's an open book. Mine's the places I pee. So
you're just like marking your territory.
Yeah, exactly. that was going to be the name of the book when I did my walk, and I just never wrote the book. If Chat GPT was only earlier.
I think somebody wrote a book with that similar title.
Really?
I think so. I think I just read something the other day.
Someone stole. If it's after 2012, you stole my idea. So
yeah, I may be mistaken, but I'll look that one up too.
All right, great discussion today. Really always enjoy our uplifting and heated comments. I know we have way more alike than we have not alike.
Absolutely, and
that's what it is. Like me and Mike would have the same type things,
Yeah, but you were on my side then, and,
Yeah.
and now you're on his. Now you're playing his role, and I'm playing your role.
Exactly. It would be. I mean, if we always agreed, then only one person's thinking. So, all right. You got anything else you want to plug out there or send out there? We are not doing trivia tonight at Sonny's. We will be at Amici's tomorrow. If you have not already called and did your reservation, please do that too.
And you know what? I'm happy again because my work for tomorrow is done because I still got 2 great stories that I want to talk about. Poor Tom Hanks being dissed.
Tom Hanks. Tommy, the karate guy from Happy Days. Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies was big, yeah.
Yeah. You know he was on Happy Days. He beat up the Fonz.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that scene? Yeah.
We've seen them all.
All right. Blake, do you have anything to add?
No plugs for me right now.
All right. You did an amazing job on the research, Blake. We kept you humping back there, and I appreciate. That's actually a hard-working
right.
task. That's not a negative, weird sexual thing, which you just turned it into and made it weird.
Right.
So
you gotta hump your rucksack.
Yeah. All right. Very much an Army term.
Yes, exactly.
So we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Support our sponsors. Go to Rumble, hit that like button, hit that share button. Make sure you are letting people know about how amazing Bollocks this evening is. Bye-bye.
We have fun.